don't understand why the police are just letting a paedophile roam freely in the streets. I was on a flight last week on the 1st of April from Paphos to Liverpool, and I got on camera a man touching himself to me. Now, I am 19, but everyone I meet tells me I look so much younger, and on this flight it was 5 hours, so I was wearing no makeup, which made me look about 12. Not that it has anything to do with what I was wearing, but I was wearing SpongeBob pyjamas and also an Olaf neck pillow. I looked so bad, but I will show you a picture of it just like here. Now, my sister's already made a video about this because she was on the flight with me, and essentially I'll show you a picture of the letter that the police sent me. They basically said they're not following through with the investigation because the evidence I've supplied is more in favour for the man to just say like, oh, nothing happened, I was just itching myself, whatever. This is why women don't report these kind of crimes to the police, because they do absolutely nothing. All they've done is supply a helpline. If I'm feeling down, I can just call it up and tell them how I feel. But it's actually shocking. I'm going to tell you everything that happened on that flight. So the flight wasn't even half full. There was barely anyone on it. So me and my sister were so excited to have a whole row to ourselves. I was on 12 ABC. She was on 12 DEF. And this grown old man was sat on 11 DEF. So the row in front of her and it was diagonal to me. So I put my iPad on the middle seat on the little tray and I lie down against the window watching TV on my iPad. And I noticed this old man's making eye contact with me. I just assumed, because we're kind of facing each other, it's just awkward eye contact, like it's nothing. And this was happening from the start of the flight when I was talking to my sister before we even took off. But then it was about 2 hours into the 5-hour flight when I noticed this man keeps on looking at me. Like, this can't be awkward. I'm not doing anything. Like, it can't be awkward eye contact. And then I notice there's a bump on this man's trousers. And he's like touching his trousers, whatever. And I got on video him not only staring at me for ages, but also this man touching himself and then looking at me. Now, I'm kind of superstitious. I kind of assume the worst of anything. So in my head at the time, I was like, this can't be happening. Like, I must be over-exaggerating. So I stood up, walked to the back of the plane to where all the cabin crew were, and I was on a flight with Ryanair. The staff were lovely. They didn't do anything, but they were lovely. And I just burst out into tears, whatever. I tell them the situation. They tell me they'll move me and my sister to the back of the plane away from the man. Now, as this is happening, I'm talking to them. They tell me the man has stood up, gone to the toilet, and he keeps on looking back at the plane, which is where I'm at. So he knows he's guilty. Then when we're landing, they speak to the man. Oh yeah, also this man was with his wife. And the wife answers all the questions for him. They're like, you know, what were you doing? You've made her feel uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. And the woman was like, oh, he's got ADHD. Like, he'd never do anything like that. Now, I'm socially anxious, and my sister's very supportive, so she was doing all the talking to the cabin crew. And when my sister was like, can we contact the police? The cabin crew showed the captain the video evidence I took of the man, and they said they weren't going to call the police because they wouldn't come. Then we arrived at border control, and the police were like, oh, you should have called us, like, we would have come. I don't know why they said that. We stayed at the airport for an extra hour, trying to, file something against this man, trying to start an investigation, whatever. And a few days later, I received a letter in the post saying they're not doing anything. It's frustrating, and it's a scary world to live in as a woman, because if they track down this man, look at his computer, I can guarantee you there will be child porn on there. And the fact this man felt so comfortable to make me feel uncomfortable on the plane is just disgusting. Now, I'm talking hypothetically, but if this man got the confidence to actually do something to a person, specifically a child, in a couple of years' time, and the police are like, oh, we never knew he was like this, like blah blah blah. Yeah, he did, because I filed something against him and you did absolutely nothing. They're like, oh, it's too hard to find this man. No, it's not. We know the flight number he was on, the airline, and the seat he was sat at. All you have to do is contact the airline and they'll tell you. Now, when it comes to trauma, I hate talking about it. I just shove it away and never think about it, because that's my way of coping with it. But for this, I wanted to address it because this could essentially affect children or someone else in the future, which is also why I contacted the police, who did absolutely nothing. I honestly don't know what they expected more. I'm sorry, the evidence you've supplied isn't good enough. Okay, what did you want me to do? Film it and just watch it all happen for the whole flight? Like, no, I felt uncomfortable from the start. So if any reporter wants this story, let me know, because Ryanair staff did nothing and the police have done absolutely nothing.